first annual Mindfulness Expo. Thank you for showing up for yourself and for all of the people that are here to share their stories with you. I want to introduce Michelle because she is one of my best friends and my soul sister. And I've seen her go through this journey over the past 7 years of our friendship, and it has been incredible to witness. To see her transformative journey and then bringing all of us here together today. I know the power of community, I know the power of mindfulness, and take this time to get to know someone new, to get out of your comfort zone, and to receive whatever message you need to receive today. Michelle is an inspiring speaker, meditation teacher, spiritual guide. She's an amazing sister and daughter, amazing friend. She's one of the top 5 meditation teachers on Insight Timer, the app. If you don't have it, please download it and check it out. That app has over 3,000 teachers on it, and her meditation has received over 1 million downloads. You can also receive her free teachings by signing up on her website. Michelle is the author of a book, From My Heart to Yours, based on a true story. And it is my honor to introduce this amazing human being and founder of the Mindfulness Expo to you. So without further ado, please help me welcome Michelle Zarrin.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first annual Mindfulness Expo. She introduced me as a founder, but meditation is my passion. So it's not just putting together this event for all of you, but it's sharing this beautiful world called meditation and mindfulness with the world. I will start off with my journey and how I got into this. And I'll give you, I know you're here for the long-term benefits of meditation, and I will share there's a lot that we can share, but with the time that I have, I'll share as much as I can with you about the long-term benefits of meditation. I was married for 8.5 years, and it was not an easy marriage. My husband was an addict, and when I divorced, I was going to stay with him because I believe in the journey, and I was going to stick it out with him, and I was going to stay with him. But I ended up divorcing my ex-husband after 8.5 years of marriage. And the reason why I ended up divorcing him is because he coerced my father into a business that was not a good business. Not only did it not make money, it lost money. And slowly through the years, my father ended up, he was a very well-established man, ended up losing a lot of what he had because of what happened with the business that my ex-husband had coerced my father into getting. So as soon as I found out what he did, I filed for divorce, and that is the reason for the divorce. It was a very difficult and chaotic couple years of my life until I got introduced to meditation. I left my divorce without a penny to my name. I left my divorce with 0 self-confidence. So I had to basically start over from scratch, everything. And I was seeking deep answers. And all the books, all the everything that I was seeking, it wasn't quenching my answers. It wasn't giving me the answers that I needed because I was in that much chaos and that much pain. Until I read Eckhart Tolle's book, A New Earth. And that book gave me all the answers that I was seeking, and it actually inspired me to start meditating. 10 minutes a day on my own. I've been meditating every day for 11 years. And back then it was not as well known as it is now, but I knew that this whole meditation thing is supposed to give you some form of clarity. It's supposed to give you some kind of peace. And so I started meditating. And shortly thereafter, I went to a 10-day silent meditation retreat. 10 days of silence, about 11 hours of meditating a day. And when I left that retreat, I came out as a different person. And I knew that the answers are within us. The peace that we are all trying to seek is truly within us. And that changed the course of my life. I did meditation as my passion. I meditated every day because I realized that there was something there. There was something that was changing within me. But to be honest with you, I wasn't sure if I was doing it right. And but the thing is when we are on this path, we get milestones, and we use our own life as a milestone, as a marker to see how far we've come, if the internal work we're doing, if it's actually working. And the milestone in my life came 11 months after I started meditating. My father, because of the amount of stress that he was under, because of the business that my ex-husband had coerced him to go into. He was a healthy man, he was jogging, he got a heart attack, and he passed away on the trail before my family and I could get to him. And the level of guilt that I carried because of the incidents that happened, I had a lot to work through. At that time, when my father passed away, I was 33. And I knew that I didn't want to be bitter for the rest of my life. I didn't want to be bitter at my ex-husband. I didn't want to be bitter at life for the rest of my life. So I started to dig even deeper for answers. And here's where the marker and the milestone came in. The way that I handled my father's passing, because I consider it to be a tragedy, the way that I handled it, the amount of acceptance that I had around it, there's nothing that could have helped me get through that except for the meditation. And that was when I realized, okay, this is working. Something along this whole meditation thing is working. I must be doing something right. And I went deep. I went deep into the path. I went to that retreat 4 times over. I've done a lot of meditating. And one day, when I was at a silent 3-day retreat, I had a download from life, where the download was, you're supposed to teach this. And my first thought is, how does a person make a career out of becoming a teacher of meditation? How does one follow that path? But through time, nothing else that I was doing felt good, so I knew I had to surrender to this path. And when I surrendered to this path, the path started opening up. So, with meditation, one of the first things that I learned is that you are not your thoughts. The natural tendency of our thoughts carries a lot of negativity. I am not good enough. Worry about the future. Anxiety over the future. Doubt if you want to start something new. So when you get on the path of meditation, when they say that there's space between the thoughts, meditation gives you space, it gives you space in the mind. What that space actually is you start to realize that there's this thing and it's your being, and then there's this other aspect of you, which is the thoughts. And you start to give yourself choices. Do I want to give this thought more energy? Do I want to accept this thought? And you start to realize, I don't have to. I don't have to. And naturally through time, when you stop giving the doubt, the worry, the fear, energy, slowly through time, they start to go away. And in their place comes your courage, comes your life's intuition and purpose, and that's what leads to the quality of our life. So that's one of the long-term benefits of being a meditator, is that you start to become in control of yourself and your life. The other thing that meditation does is It aligns you with your purpose. When you start to make a connection with that formless part of yourself, when you start to, through your breaths, when you start to make a connection with that formless part of yourself, you start to tap into different parts, different elements of yourself. You start to want to become more of service. You start to give more attention to your intuition. And you start to have a gnawing feeling that there's a little more to this life that I should be doing. There's a little bit more. I'm very happy in, being the parent that I am and then the job that I'm doing, but there's something else that I should be doing. If you have that gnawing feeling, it's because you haven't tapped into your purpose yet. And here's the thing that I want to say about purpose. The thing that people stops them from going into their purpose is they feel that they have to make money from the purpose. And that is not the case. There's an analogy that I always use where, let's say you grew up on a farm, and let's say you love digging your hands into dirt, and you love planting, and you love watching things grow. But life takes over, and you all of a sudden end up living in a city, and you have to make rent, you have to make payments, and there's no way that you can even become remotely close to living on a farm. But that is your passion. You love all aspects of living on a farm. The way to follow your journey and the way to follow your purpose is while living in that small apartment in the middle of the city, go buy a little pot and a couple of tomato seeds, as an example, and plant them. And when you plant them, just nurture them, watch them grow, and allow that to be your mini farm, your hands in the dirt. What happens through time is we start to want to share our passion with other people. So this tomato bush, this tomato tree that you have in your house, you start to share your tomatoes with your neighbors and your coworkers. And slowly through time, one day you're living your life, your coworker comes to you and says, those tomatoes you gave me, I made salad, and my cousin who has an Italian restaurant came over and loved it. She wants a whole batch. And you tell your coworker that I don't have the space to do this. And then your coworker says, but she has the backyard. So my point with this is what meditation does when we tap into the formless, when we start to get that gnawing feeling within us, that there's more to this life, that there's more that I should be doing, it's because we haven't tapped into our purpose. We are meant to work and have our careers. We are meant to be parents. We are meant to be friends and family members. But if there's still that element and aspect within you that still feels unfulfilled, follow your heart. You never know where it's going to take you. We all come into this life with an imprint of something that we're supposed to share. Whatever yours is, whatever gives you joy. Mine happened to be meditation, and I started sharing it with other people. And I would have never thought that I would make a career out of it. But 10 years later, I actually started to get into this career 6 years. 6 years later, here I am. So we all come into this life with an imprint. We all come with something that we're supposed to do. If there is a gnawing feeling, follow your joy, follow your bliss, because it will take you places. It will take you places that you hadn't imagined, and it will lead you to a more fulfilling life. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is when we're on this path, we start to filter. We start to filter what doesn't feel good anymore. When we're cleansing our mind, when we're cleansing our thoughts, we start to filter what doesn't feel good anymore. And a big part of this path becomes forgiveness. When we start to forgive those who hurt us, we start to cleanse our mind, we start to cleanse our life with what we really need in order to be able to move deeper into our peace. There's not a single person on this planet that leaves this planet without having been hurt by somebody else. It's a part of this life, it's a part of the existence of the human being. And while we are on this path, we start to filter those that don't feel good, things that don't feel good. Forgiveness becomes key. When we forgive, it's an act of self-interest. It's to let go of the pain that the other person caused, because you realize they are only doing it from their state of mind. I don't have to give it attention and energy anymore. I choose differently. I choose my peace, and so therefore, I forgive. And it doesn't mean that you have to accept the other person into your life. It doesn't mean that what they did is okay. It just means that you choose peace. Because going back to what I said originally, when we start meditating, we start to realize our thoughts, and we start to realize our thoughts can be so negative. And the train of thoughts that we have can be so negative. And we start to realize that we're replaying a lot of the stories of the past, a lot of the stories of what happened to us. And we say, I don't want that anymore. And we realize we have a choice of letting go and releasing that. And so a huge part of the path becomes forgiveness, because we do it for ourselves. And one other thing that I will share, out of the many that we can talk about when it comes to meditation, is your life will fall apart. There will be times when you're on this path and you're going to feel that your life has fallen apart. But the deeper that you go into yourself, the deeper that you make that connection with yourself, the more you realize that you're tapping into who you're truly supposed to be, the essence of who you're truly supposed to be. So again, you make different choices. The people that you choose to have around you, who you choose to have around you, the choices that you make for your life. So you feel like your life is falling apart many times over on this journey, but in essence, your life is falling so we can build back up in a much better way for you. And I will leave you with this last not phrase, not statement, this last thought. There's three kinds of investments that we make in this world. We make investments into stocks, we make investments into real estate, and we make investments into ourselves. The most important investment that you can make is the one into yourself, because nobody has the ability to take away the person that you become. So for all of you who are here, for all of you who are here today, I hope you join us for all the workshops. If you choose to stay for a couple of workshops, the schedule is completely up to you. But I cannot tell you how beautiful it is to see so many people on the path of personal development, because the path of personal development used to be a very personal thing at one point, and it's not a personal thing anymore. We are in groups and experiences and sharing the journey of life together. And in a world that is online, in a world where everything is online, coming together in rooms and experiences like this makes a world of difference, because we realize we are not alone. We are not going through this journey by ourselves. And thank you for giving yourself this time. Thank you for giving yourself one workshop, the whole day, whatever it may be. 80% of success is who we are on the inside. 20% of success is the strategies and everything that we have on the outside. If you want to make a lot of money, but you have a lot of guilt around money, that guilt is not going to let you go forward and bring in the money. Have you ever felt that you're doing so much more than what you're receiving? It's because the internal work needs to step up its game. So again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being part of the first annual Mindfulness Expo. Thank you for allowing myself and all the teachers that we have to share their messages with you. I hope that you go visit all the exhibitors. I hope that you enjoy all the workshops. One of the most beautiful things from me having gone through this year is I've always been so concerned with sharing my message, which is a message of meditation, the benefits of meditation. But in this past year, I came across so many people, and they have so many beautiful messages to share. And they've been through so much to share that message. The exhibitors have so many wonderful products to share. We are all a group of people that are trying to put wellness into the world. And so please, engage with the exhibitors. I hope you enjoy the workshops. But most importantly, thank you for being here for yourself. Nobody will ever take away any amount of aha moment, personal development, anything that you give yourself. So thank you for being here, and I wish you a wonderful day at the Expo.